Alright guys, so let's get started with the prep of our tumbler. I already sanded this down and now I'm going in with the spray paint. I am using a flat white spray paint from Krylon. The tumbler I'm working with today is a 12-ounce wine mug from Craft Haven, and I will link them down below. Thing we're gonna do is apply our resin to the base of our tumbler. I'm using less than 1 ml for this method. I'm also using Counterculture Artist resin and not fast set like I usually do because I'm working with a white tumbler and is not recommended. So you want to make sure that you get a really nice even layer of this resin, and do not forget to coat the handle of your mug really well. I like to glitter the handle, so you can see how I pay really close attention to that handle, make sure I get all in the nook and the cranny so that I don't miss. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and apply the glitter. The glitter I am using today is called Lumi. It is a glitter that's available at sugarandspiceglitter.com, which is my glitter shop, and we do have these in stock, so go ahead and check that out. It is a pearlescent white glitter, and I just love her. She's absolutely beautiful. So go ahead and just really lay that glitter on there. You want to make sure that you get in the handle really well and you don't miss any spots. So you'll see I'm paying really close attention again to the handle and the bottom of the tumbler so that I get really full coverage with this glitter. Once you got that down, and now we are going to let that cure and apply our top coat of resin. Again, I am using Counterculture Artist resin for this step, and I am going to put 2 really good coats of resin all over this tumbler before sanding any part of this tumbler and before applying my vinyl. You want to make sure that you get at least 2 coats on your tumbler before sanding and before applying your vinyl so that you don't have any bumps and unevenness under your vinyl design. So we're gonna go ahead and jump forward to cleaning off the rim of the tumbler. I've already applied my 2 coats of resin here. Now I am taking my little X-Acto knife to trim around the rim. So you can see that I have pieces of foam from my little foam attachment from my turner. So I'm just being really careful and just cutting that excess resin off away from the rim of my cup. Once I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and take my little sanding block that I have down there. That will be listed down below as well. You can find them in my Amazon shop. And I'm gonna turn on the water and sand using the wet method. I don't like sanding my tumblers dry. I like doing it wet because I don't like to put all that dust in the air. Even though I am wearing my mask, I just like to take an extra step and do the wet method instead so that I don't have any of those particles flying up in the air. Now that my tumbler is nice and smooth, we're going to move on to the next step, which is applying the vinyl design. I created this in Cricut Design Space and cut it out with this really pretty metallic red foil. I believe is from Cricut as well. I will link that down below. And I'm just weeding it really quickly and applying my transfer sheet. And I'm just gonna eyeball where I want my vinyl design to go. I'm pretty good at eyeballing my locations and where I want it, but if you need to measure the distance between the top and the bottom to figure that out, you can definitely grab a ruler and do so. I'm just looking to see where I want it, and once I am happy with the location, I put it down, smooth it out, and peel up that transfer sheet. So once that's done, I hit it with the heat gun. I want to get that adhesiveness activated. I feel like these types of foil vinyls tend to lift up with the resin, so I like to just hit it with the heat gun just to make sure, and then I do wait like about an hour before going in with my resin. So you can see here that I'm putting in a nice amount of resin over here, and I'm gonna just go in with a nice thick coat as my last and final layer. However, if you need to, you can definitely go in with a second one. I only needed one for this time. Alright guys, so now it's time for the fun part. So first you're gonna need your Fast and Final paste. You're gonna need a Tupperware. You're also going to need your cake decorating bags, some tips as well. I like to use these. Make sure that whatever you're using today or for this craft, you will not be using for baking again. You're gonna need some liquid fusion or hot glue gun, some disposable utensils. I bought these half foam balls on Amazon, and everything will be listed down below. You will also need a foam sheet, some glitter and mica powder if you choose, some really fun sprinkles that I'm super excited to share with you guys today, some white acrylic paint or whatever color you decide to use for your craft, some scissors, gloves, and of course a pencil. First thing you're going to want to do is grab the top of your mug, and you can see that I am making sure that the foam ball I purchased fits. I believe it's about 3 inches. You're going to take the top of your mug and you're going to trace a line around that top on the foam sheet. Once you've done that, you're going to want to go ahead and cut that out with your scissor. Once you've gotten that all cut out, you're gonna glue the little half foam ball to this piece that you're cutting out right now. So I'm using liquid fusion to glue my half foam ball to the foam that I cut out. However, you can use hot glue gun or whatever glue that you have, as long as it's a permanent adhesive glue and it's going to stick on really well. So you do want that foam sheet to be a little bit bigger than the round ball. Now I've seen someone do this without using the round ball. They kind of create like a little dome with their whipped cream, but I felt like the round foam would help keeping the whip from collapsing. So another thing you're going to want to do is grab like a little cardboard flap from a cardboard box. So I went and just cut one off. I grabbed some parchment paper, I measured it, and now I'm going to tape it around this cardboard. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this is what I'm going to put my little foam piece that I just created on. So you're going to take some painter's tape and tape that onto the cardboard. And then you're also going to want to get like a little turntable or a little cake turntable to place this on top of when you're done. And you'll see what I mean here in just a minute. So just keep on watching so you can see how I tape this up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Guys, so now we're going to move on to the next step and actually start creating our whipped cream. So you're going to take that Fast and Final and put a couple scoops into your Tupperware. Unfortunately, I don't have an exact measurement for you guys, so I was sort of eyeballing this part, but you can kind of see what I'm doing here and just go from there if you decide to do this as well. So you can see that the color of the Fast and Final is sort of like gray. It's not a white color, and that is where the acrylic paint comes in. So we're going to mix in the acrylic paint into this Fast and Final once I've gotten all the scoops into the Tupperware to make it really, really white like whipped cream. So now I'm taking this apple barrel white acrylic paint, putting a couple of squirts into the Fast and Final, and I'm gonna mix it up. Actually go on in with another squirt or two of that white until I am satisfied with the color of my mixture. This is really lightweight and super easy to mix. So you can see here I'm just taking my fork and mixing it up. Once I'm done mixing it up, you're going to want to grab your decorating bag and a cup or some sort of container to hold your decorating bag up so that we can put this Fast and Final inside of it. Okay, so now we're gonna take our decorating bag and cut off the tip so that we can apply our little tips here inside of the decorating bag. So you can see the one that I am using. And I do end up having to cut just a little bit more because when I put it in, I didn't realize that it wasn't gonna fit all the way through. So I do push that back up, cut a little bit more, and then it fits perfectly. So once you have your tip in, you're gonna want to grab like a cup or something to kind of hang your little bag over like I'm doing here. So this is basically just like what you would do if you were getting ready to decorate like a cake or some cupcakes. So you want it to stand up so that you can scoop in your Fast and Final into the bag. So make sure you get all of that in there. And once I've gotten all that in the bag, we're gonna squeeze it and push it down to the tip, and we'll move on to the next step. So earlier I told you I eyeballed my mixture and I ended up having enough to make 2 toppers. So you'll see later on that I end up making 2 of them, which is pretty awesome because I had a lot of fun making this. So you can see now that I took out the Lazy Susan, and I'm sticking a piece of tape under that foam ball that I created there, and I'm sticking it to the top side of that cardboard with the parchment paper that I taped onto it. You do want to make sure that when you tape your parchment paper on, that it's shiny side up. Forgot to mention that before, but you do want to make sure that you're putting the shiny side up when you're taping it onto the cardboard. And the tape on the bottom of the foam, it just keeps it there from moving around. So now I'm going to go ahead and pipe some of that Fast and Final around the base of that ball. Now you do want to make sure that you kind of stick that out over that foam, so that it kind of covers that foam piece. So yeah, you can see exactly what I did there. I kind of just took my time around the bottom and then swirled it all around like I would with whipped cream. So now I'm adding these hot cocoa brown glitter to make it look like cinnamon or something like that. And I'm gonna take this little brown sugar mica powder, and I'm gonna just put a little tiny bit on my little spatula here, and I'm gonna take the tip of my finger and I'm literally going to tap that spatula to let the mica just fall down. Now all this is kind of creating like cinnamon or some sort of like decorations for the whipped cream, and you can see what I'm doing, but you can put your little spin on it and put whatever you want. Now I'm really excited to show you guys the little sprinkles that I have besides me. These are actually going to be sent out in the November box, so I'm giving you guys a little bit of a sneak peek of what is inside, and you can see just how cute these are. They are polymer clay and I love them so much. After everyone has received their November box, we will be releasing them on the website, so stay tuned for that launch. And if you're interested in getting your hands on our monthly subscription, we will be opening up more spots in January. Our monthly subscription box is where you can get access to all of our newest colors, themed boxes before anyone else gets a chance to get their hands on them. So yeah, you have access to all these fun little sprinkles and new glitter and a bunch of amazing stuff. So you can see now that I'm just putting some of those little gingerbread men here up on top. I sprinkled some of those peppermint sprinkles on top as well, and I'm kind of just taking my little gingerbread men one by one and placing them all around the whipped cream topping. And I just love how this is coming out. You can have fun with this part. You can literally add anything. If you go on Pinterest and search mug topper, you will see all of the amazing cute mug toppers. I have to admit, I went on Pinterest and I got a lot of inspiration from so many amazing posts on Pinterest. So you can go ahead and have fun and create so much with this, and you don't have to do white whipped cream. You can change the color. You can put anything you want on here. So I am so happy with how this turned out so far, but I did decide to go in with actual real cinnamon to make it smell delicious. So you can see I'm literally just tapping that cinnamon on, and I'm not adding very much. It was just a tiny bit just to add a little bit of scent to the topper. I thought that would add something a little bit extra that I or maybe someone else could appreciate if you decide to sell this. Alright, so like I said before, I made enough whipped cream topping for two. So I actually went ahead and took my tumbler mug and traced another circle. Now, what I wanted to do was make one for my Rae Dunn mug. If you guys know, I'm a huge collector of Rae Dunn. But during this part, it kind of like slipped my mind. So if you were doing the one for a Rae Dunn mug, then what you would want to do is kind of use that mug, flip it over, and trace the mug so that you know how wide your opening is and how wide you need your foam piece to be. Now, it just so happened that this worked out for my Rae Dunn mug, so yeah, I'm really happy about that. But I'm going to do the same exact steps that we did for the first one for the second one, and yeah, enjoy, and I hope you had fun watching this. So we're gonna go and glue that half foam ball again to the foam sheet with using liquid fusion. This time I did get a little bit lazy, and because I had the other topper drying on the little cardboard, I decided to just go ahead and do it over the parchment paper. Now with the parchment paper, you can see here that I actually put it on the dull side and not the shiny side. However, luckily I do catch it and flip it over, but it didn't seem to really stick to it that much. So anyway, I guess to be on the safe side, just use the shiny side. So I went and got some red glitter, decided to use ruby slippers and golden ice, which is a iridescent white. And I wanted to go ahead and sprinkle that over, kind of do something a little bit different. Again, I'm just tapping the glitter and letting it fall on top of the whip. And once I've applied the glitter, I go ahead and grab my sprinkles again, put that on. And I'm going in with the Mickey Mouse sprinkles this time, and I'm placing them one by one, just grabbing them each with my fingers and putting them down on the topper. So here's a close-up version of the first one. I decided to do an extra step and add a straw. I actually took a little plastic straw and spray painted it red. However, they have some super cute paper straws that you can use for this step as well. Like I said, go ahead and check on Pinterest. You're gonna have and find so much inspiration for these cute little toppers. I'm definitely gonna work on some more and get a bunch of different like little topper accessories, so I'll be sharing with you guys on my social media. So if you want to see what I do with these, then go ahead and follow me over there. But I'm so happy with how these turned out, and yeah, I hope you guys were excited to see how I created this. So in this next clip, you're gonna see what they look like completely done. And there it is, my little resin tumbler with one of the whipped toppers. And then of course, one of my favorite Rae Dunn Christmas mugs. I'm so excited with how this turned out. I hope you guys really loved it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about today's tutorial. Guys, be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also join my Facebook group for all shop updates. I will see you in my next video.